The old house loomed before them, a skeletal silhouette against the bruised twilight sky. Liam, Maya, and Chloe stood shoulder to shoulder, the silence of the overgrown yard pressing in on them. A low, mournful wind whispered through the skeletal branches of the dead oak tree out front, carrying the scent of decay and damp earth. With a shared nervous glance, they switched on their flashlights. 3 cones of white light sliced through the encroaching gloom, dancing over the peeling paint and boarded-up windows. Liam reached for the heavy, iron-ringed door, which groaned in protest as he pushed it inward. The sound was like a pained moan from the house itself. Taking a collective deep breath, they crossed the threshold, stepping from the dying day into a century of darkness. The air inside was thick and cold, heavy with the dust of forgotten years. Their flashlight beams became their only guides, cutting sharp paths through the suffocating blackness. Motes of dust, disturbed by their entry, swirled and danced in the cones of light like spectral insects. The grand foyer was a tomb of memories, with a sweeping staircase disappearing into the shadows of the upper floor. They moved cautiously into the living room, their footsteps muffled by a thick layer of grit on the hardwood floor. Here, the furniture was draped in white sheets, ghostly sentinels standing guard. In the dark, the light from their flashlights distorted the shapes, stretching them into long, grotesque shadows that writhed and danced on the walls as they moved. A grandfather clock stood silent in a corner, its hands frozen at 3:15, forever marking a moment lost to time. Maya ran a finger along a dust-caked mantelpiece, leaving a clean streak in her wake, the only sign of life the room had seen in decades. As they ventured deeper, the house seemed to press in on them, the silence growing heavier, more watchful. A chill, unrelated to the evening air, snaked its way up Chloe's spine. She stopped, her breath catching in her throat. The beam of her flashlight trembled, the reflection of the bulb, a tiny, frantic star in the dark pools of her wide eyes. Her gaze was fixed down the long central hallway, where a single door stood slightly ajar. As they all watched, frozen in place, the door began to move, a low, drawn-out creak like a final agonized breath echoed through the hall as the door swung slowly, deliberately open. Beyond it, there was nothing but an impenetrable, absolute darkness, a void that seemed to swallow the light and the very air around it. It was an invitation and a warning, and the cold dread that washed over them was a clear answer. Huddled together, their shoulders pressing for comfort and courage, they instinctively took a step back from the yawning blackness of the open doorway. The beams of their flashlights crisscrossed frantically, painting panicked strokes of light across the peeling wallpaper of the hallway. It was in that moment of shared terror, as their attention was fixed on the menacing void ahead, that the movement happened. Behind them, on the far wall of the living room they had just left, a shadow detached itself from the other twisted shapes. It was a fluid, man-shaped silhouette that darted with impossible speed across the wall, a fleeting ink blot of pure black against the grimy surface, before vanishing completely into the deeper shadows of the corner. It was there and gone in a heartbeat, phantom flicker at the edge of their vision, leaving behind only the chilling certainty that they were not and had never been alone.